What's your archetype part 2? Off the cuff, take 1. So, I was speaking to my colleague. I was asking him what his archetype was, and I made a video, part 1 of the video, and this is part 2. And I wanted to come back and speak on this topic because our self-image and how we look at ourselves really bears or takes an effect on how we behave, how we treat ourselves, how we carry ourselves. Yeah, basically, and that's basically it. And this was also linked to perceived value against actual value. Because what I find, and this is very, very much with me, is that, for myself, is that you have these mentally challenged characters, demonically possessed characters, who are somehow perceived as value. And then you have empathic beings, chosen, anointed beings, giving people a second chance. People walk all over them, over us, who are looked down upon and looked like they've got no value when they are the real value. So with this kind of like weird paradox, even today at work, I had to we built some equipment, and there's a guy I'm working with built some equipment, and on the section I was working on, I took the other guy's piece of equipment to the lead on my side, and it was the equipment that he built was just a complete mess, and the one that I had built was just like tidy and done a certain way. And I said to him, "Oh man, why didn't you ask me to bring me my one? I would have brought my one." He told me to put mine on a different side, and he would have been done quicker because all the cables would have been straightened out and wired in all tidy and everything. And but the guy that I gave mine to, he's like always barking at me, "Go over there, go and grab me this, go and grab me that." He treats you, like you're just whatever, when your work is, past his. Anyway, so yeah, I wanted to talk about the archetype number 2. I don't know if you watch Dry Creek Ranger School. There's a guy, that big beard, who does like these wise talks, and I think his name is Dwayne. He does these conversations. Now, why I brought that channel up, is a very good channel to talk to for self-improvement. He's like quite philosophical, and he does like these quite interesting stories. He smokes cigars. I like cigars and all that, and he just comes across as like a really like well-to-do together type of man, like older man, wise. And your archetype part 2, for me, he's the kind of person that in like the next 30 years that most guys, like, I would aspire to be like. I'm not saying that I would ever get to that point of like wise, calm, he's got his family, everything's on lock, chilled out kind of person. But that's the kind of person, post all this mayhem, I'm aiming towards. Like, I remember when I was talking about part 1, before I had went through abuse, I looked at myself like I wanted to be this kind of like attractive man, like Mike Lowry in Bad Boys, that kind of thing. Alex Hitch in the Hitch film, the sort of Will Smith type. But as I've gone through what I've gone through, the archetype that I'm hopefully moving towards is like kindness, wise, more empathy, but channeled through the right things and given to the right people. More kind of intention, being calm. Even now, as I'm making this, I'm someone that, I've got a lot of improvements to make. I still have demonic attacks. I still don't always feel like taking part in the war. That's the only way I can describe it. You know, it's the war. But it's something that all empaths have to just realize that we've been chosen for this. Like, we have to, you know what I mean, go to the front and take our part in this war. Maybe not everyone. I know I do. There's a lady, I was working out in the gym and she came up to me and said, oh, what's the exercise that you're doing? And I told her, oh, it's based on the martial art. She was like, what martial art? And she was asking me questions, and it was just done in such a aggressive way, really looking into my eyes. At one point I had to just look away from her. It was just like, you know, like when there's a vampire, like there was literally nothing in her eyes. She was asking me questions and it was like she was just sucking my life force out of me. But it was, in those scenarios, it's just like, again, we're always giving people a chance. And I'm still learning, I'm still trying to, you know, get there. You know, I'm not perfect, I've still got a lot to learn. But you know, some days you don't want to be bothered, and some days you want to have conversations, and sometimes you end up even maybe oversharing. But the archetype that I want to be now, or I'm aiming towards, is definitely one of like strength, composure, knowing how to spot narcs, staying away from narcs, walking away from toxic people, walking away from toxic environments, being able to react to make decisions in the moment about people and about scenarios and situations and workplaces, like literally being in the moment of, this is toxic, bye, or I'm not taking part in this, bye. You know, like, I think one thing a lot of us empathic people struggle with, even though we're on our healing journey and we're no longer people pleasers, and we're able to say no, we still struggle with kind of like giving people the benefit of the doubt, or letting things play out, like when we need to be like more like, don't even give things an opportunity to play out. Just like see it, just sniff it, just see a little pink flag, not even a red flag, and just be like, nah, bye. Like, I'm not dealing with this. I see so many pink flags and then they become like, you know, crimson red, and then it's like time to get out, and then it's too late. They've already stolen like your attention, your energy, I'm getting some nice sun today. They've stolen everything from you. And there's some other people that actually deserve your love and time, and then by the time you don't even have any energy left to give, to devote to them people. So what's your archetype part 2? Yeah, more about looking at qualities, characteristics of qualities in people, in personality, like integrity, strength, you know, being able to take blaming yourself, improving, being able to work with other people, not judging, being more Christ-like. So I need to work on this as well, like being able to forgive people, not be around them, but be able to like forgive them for their bad things. So maybe not reacting to them when they cut you up when you're driving, or stepping over your mat in the gym, like all these things that people just do, like to annoy, just to like get your attention, or even if they try to ignore you, but they do it in such a blatant way of like, I'm not talking to you. Being more Christ-like to like avoid the emotion, like don't absorb it. Yeah, just having that awareness is something that I'm aiming towards, because I'm not there. I've got a lot of learning to do. I've got a lot of improvement. I've got a long way to go. I'm still on my healing journey. And that's basically it. I wanted to make a bit part 2, because part 1 was like kind of like pre-narc abuse archetype. So part 2 is actually the place that we're going to become the better version of ourselves post narc abuse. So we know what narc abuse is. We know that we're in a spiritual war. We know that there are lizard people walking around with no souls. We know that we're not trying to judge them or even judge ourselves too harshly, that we can navigate this realm, this 3D, and still enjoy material things, still enjoy certain behaviors, but just know that certain things are not good for us and not going to feed us, and just work towards just becoming more whole as a individual, in terms of like maturing into a space of kind and loving and wiser, not taking things to heart too much. It's not personal. This kind of space is somewhere that we need to get to. And yeah, part 2 version is the 2.0 version, and hopefully it'll be coming soon, the healed version of me and of you. Take it easy, speak to you soon. Peace.